Hi, it's a Get Red Rose Ebe missionary, and thank you so much for joining me on day number 18. Yeah, 18, like I'm still honoring the promise I made that I'm going to do 35 videos to the glory of God. And obviously, the aim is to showcase God's faithfulness through my life or in my life, And I'm hoping that even as you get to know a little bit about me, you'll be able to see God's hands, because it's not about red rose, you know what I mean? It's all about Jesus. Remove Jesus and you won't see nothing on me. So today's day number 18, as I was actually thinking what I was going to talk about. I have a whole list of things to talk about, but I was like, what can I talk about concerning the number 18? And I realized that many of the times that when they reach the age 18, they get excited and they want to fall in love. So I was like, oh my goodness, how old was I actually when I fell in love? So for me, I strongly believe that there's true love and real love. There are some people who have their first boyfriends and then they get married, then they have found both the real love and true love. I think that's me thinking. I'm not saying statistics or whatever, but for me, I think I had first love. I had first love, then I found real love and true love, whatever that is. So I thought about talking about love and relationships, because when people reach 18, I know now even 12 years old are in love, because everywhere on social media you will see people putting photos with their boyfriends, girlfriends, and so on. And I think a lot of young people have the pressure to dive into that relationship. And also, if the biological clock is clocking as well, you feel, oh my goodness, when will it be my turn? When will I have that guy that I would close my eyes and would tell me that I love you? My goodness. Anyways, so today I just want to say that I was once like that. I've done a couple of videos about love, and I have a lot of data to offload. But this one is supposed to be less than 10 minutes. So let me see how I can sort of scratch different surfaces of what I learned before I get excited. So, yes, I think I fell in love. Okay, I think I fell in love. Don't worry, my husband knows everything about this. I think I fell in love when I was, how old? 15 years, I think. Yeah, I fell in love. Yeah, I think 15 years. Yes. No, not 15 years. 15 years actually, when I was in grade 8. Yes. 2 years before I got saved. I fell in love into some dude, but I think that was not a relationship, to be honest. It was just a brother and sister, because we didn't know what we were both doing and we couldn't see each other, because my brothers were tough and I didn't want someone's child to be kicked. So but I remember that even I fell in love, I think, with 2 guys at the same time. I think so. There's this guy who came first, and I was like, guys, I wasn't mentored by then, so don't look at me with holy eyes. So there's this guy who came and said, oh, I like you. And I was like, oh, I like you too. And then afterwards, he went to school, and then there was this colored guy. I was into colored guys, I think when I was young. I was like, oh, nice skin, and said, I like you. And I'm like, I like you too. Then afterwards, I got saved. I got saved, and praise the Lord, I got saved. But guess what? I got saved when I was 16 years old, but even then, I was not mentored, So thank God the first 2 guys, obviously we didn't kiss, we didn't do nothing. And I think we didn't spend time, to be honest with them. It was just that kind of a thing where in your heart that you're in a relationship. Because everyone in your class, guess what? When I fell in love, I went to school and I told my best friend, and my best friend jumped at that time and told the whole class, Rose is in a relationship, and the house went down, But anyways, we're not meant to. So, fast forward, I gave my life to Christ when I was 16 years old, and I'm like, I don't want to do relationships because, relationships are bad. I want to please God, and so on. And I continued to chill and so on but there was some guy that was after me, but I was like, no, I'm not into guys. And until when I completed high school, the guy was still there, and I said yes to that guy. By then, I think I knew what I was getting myself into, Obviously, marriage was not a picture. Obviously, I knew we were going to get married, obviously, But I was like, oh yeah, I want to also be in a relationship. And some of the memories I had is he used to have a good. I like guys. Oh, I don't like guys. I used to like guys with good handwritings, and used to have a good handwriting. And I also liked guys who speak good English and used to speak good English. So you could write me to my like a letter and stuff like that. You could text and stuff. Wish it was nice. Anyways, I was not mentored. But guess what? Yeah, that relationship lasted for 8 years, you know what I mean? And afterwards, I think I grew in that relationship. And I was like, okay, because in that 8 year period, I danced on about, I think, more than 5 lineups, if I'm not mistaken. So I was like, oh, okay, so could have been to oh, let me use English. I was like, oh, so there are things like getting married, I thought it's just, just chilling, and I was like, oh, when will this dude propose, you know what I mean? And yeah, the brother, was not interested, but I couldn't get the memo. Anyhow, till I reached a point where I said, God, I need you, and I said, okay, put that relationship on pause and started to seek God, and lo and behold, after a year or so, I got in a relationship with my husband now. But I learned so much, okay? Like, I learned so much. Number one of the reasons that I wanted to be in relationships, or I wanted to be in that relationship, was because it sounded cool, it looked cool. I needed someone to tell me they loved me. I liked letters, like I just wanted someone to complete me, someone to make me feel special, More so, I also wanted to have something to say with my friends. Like I told you, the moment I fell in love, like everyone knew, like I'd get the letters. I think that was later, I think in grade 12, even though we hadn't started dating, like I would get letters, take them to school. So what was used to happen is every time, like when someone is in love, like people talk like in class and they sort of cheer up, you see. So like I also got in a relationship because I thought it was fun, like I needed to sort of have something to say with the other people, and also I got in a relationship, like I said, because I felt I needed to to seem like I was a normal person, and I didn't have a reason why I wasn't supposed to be in a relationship, like I didn't. But guess what that did? Thank God that God literally kept me for more than 8 years that I was in a relationship. Obviously I don't talk about those baby relationships because it was just a proposal and it ended there. Like my main relationship was the one that I spent 8 years, and I got in that relationship because I thought it sounded cool. Yes, I knew we were going to get married, but it was like a by the way. And that's why every time I talk about my experience, I want people to know that I take responsibility, like, and I want you to sort of understand that should their relationship fail, you should take responsibility, because that person doesn't force you. I wasn't forced to be in that relationship. I went in that relationship. So it's always important to take responsibility for a relationship that doesn't work. I can go on and on telling stories, but what I'd like for you to learn is before you jump in a relationship, I don't mind how old you are. You need to think about why you want to get in that relationship. Number one, are you ready to be in that relationship? What do you know about being in a relationship? Are you mentored? Do you even know your purpose? Are you ready for marriage? Like one of the challenges that young people have is when they're like 10 years, 20 years before they get married, they jump in a relationship. So what will you be doing for 20 years in that relationship? You talk, you do all sorts of things before you know it, you start sleeping together. Why? Because you have so much time that you did not plan for. When I dated, I don't actually use dating, but I think I've used it in a couple of videos. When I was in a relationship with my now husband, the day he proposed, I knew we were going to get married, So I think, and I believe that it's very important for you, if you're watching, to know why you're getting into a relationship. And don't just go for a man because he's good. What exactly are you looking for? Because the good in that man will not sustain you. You need to think about things like, how is the relationship with God? How do you know about that? How is their character? Their character will give you an idea of the relationship with their God. So if they're making bad decisions, if what is coming out of their mouth is not something that pleases God, if they want to kiss you before they marry you, then obviously you know that this dude is not after my good, because a dude that is serious with you is supposed to, I'm talking to the girls now, not the guys. The dude that is serious, with you is supposed to respect you until you get married. So what am I trying to say? Be prepared for a relationship before you jump into a relationship. If not, you're going to end up like me. and you'll have yourself to blame. It's me who was to blame that I was in a defined relationship. My ex is very innocent. It's me, because I am the one who gave him permission to be my boyfriend. You know what I mean? So yeah, I can go on and on. I hope what I've scratched on the surface makes some sense. See you on the other side.